Hello and welcome to Sorare Sunday for the week of October 7th to the 13th. And we are going to jump straight into how we did this week. Alright, how we did this week. So we're going to look at pros first, and I didn't do great. International breaks are always a difficult one, I feel, because unless you have like the very specific players, you're gonna just not do any good. So we on the first, and I can't really blame international breaks on the first one because actually it was the end of the international break. But we only got one out of the 35, which was the champions. We got one limited in-season reward, and then everything else we just didn't do that great on. No one really did that well for a lot of my teams. Or the ones that did do well, there was a lot of people in it. So we got top 55% in the legends, so it wasn't enough to get a reward. The only Premier League, Ipswich did really badly, and Twanzebe didn't play. He almost cut his thumb off completely while washing the dishes, apparently. So he probably won't play for a few games. But now I know that, I can play a different player. But how are you supposed to know that's going to happen? Do you know what I mean? All my goalkeepers played just shocking. I got Welbeck and Woods scored, which they've been really good this season. But yeah, you need a team that scores look, I was really close. 11 points, 40 points, 17 points. Just weren't quite there. You get weeks like this where you're not quite getting it. Solanke got an assist and played fairly well. But no rewards in the Premier League. No rewards in oh my goodness. It's doing this every now and then. It keeps skipping. What is going on? I'm going to have to just click off of it and click back in. What's going on? It's gone weird. It's gone very strange. It doesn't going down the list anymore. Hopefully that whatever they've done to update it, they will update it again to fix that. Where did we get to? La Liga, I was 7 points off. I brought Fatty ages ago when he was injured for fairly cheap. It was under a tenner, and he's finally started playing again. So I'm hoping Ansu Fati will start getting some good scores and that, because he was a fantastic player back in the day, and injury has not been his and he's so young as well. Injury's just not been his friend. Although George De Frutos, I'm going to say that's how you say his name, 2 goals and 132, and I captained him. So that team and an assist from Ratiu. If we'd had a keeper, we would have got a score and potentially quite high in the league. But it was not to be. The only one we did get was this one here, Team C in Champion, where Zion Suzuki kept a clean sheet up against Bologna. And he was captain, so got 109. And then everyone else just did okay. So it was not an amazing one to get a box on, but there you go. And then everything else, McTominay's, I gave him a shout out last week as my player to watch. Got another goal. He's playing well. So he's definitely one to keep an eye on. But other than that, I think that's probably no one really impressed overly too much. Oh my goodness, it's really struggling to load at the moment. I have noticed this week. Some sort of update that they've done with Sorare. It just seems to not like it anymore. We were 21 points off reward on warm-up as well, which isn't too bad, to be fair. We chose an all-right team. I think we should have chosen a better keeper. And choosing Yamal all the time, I don't know if it's paying off. He's a good player and he seems to do well most times, but he has dips, I think, in his he's young, so he has dips where he doesn't do as much as he would in a few weeks before or whatever. So maybe not the best tactic. Then the internationals did start. We got no rewards from it. Our Japanese players did pretty well. Taniguchi and Zion Suzuki, they were playing Saudi Arabia, and they won 2-0. Nusa played fairly well, got a 90, but I think is that just because he got captained, he'd get kind of like a middle score. I put Walker in and he didn't even play against Greece, but that was one of the worst games England have played for a while. It was just depressing to watch. Other than that, Solanke got an assist for the goal that Bellingham scored, so that was pretty good. And then our warm-up, we got really bad. Like, to be honest, this time around. Like, Messi, I captained, he didn't do a lot. Rafinha, I put in, he didn't do anything from the looks of it. Kang Inlee didn't do anything for South Korea. Molina went up against Argentina and got a very poor score. And Pickford was shocking for England, so I won't be picking him again. I honestly think this might be just the changeover where Pickford isn't our number one for England anymore. He's too erratic, isn't he? And then that takes us up to the live one, but we won't look through that yet because that's still happening. But I don't think I'm going to get any of these rewards either because it's internationals and I don't really have the top players for internationals. And I've got a load of did not plays, which is really annoying. Or no games. It said that they were going to play, and then last minute it changed to no game, and I didn't realise. And so we've got a few where it's just no points. But yeah, so, and in terms of rivals, I have been promoted up to second division now. But the problem is, second division is really hard. So of my lineups, I've just done pretty shocking on. I've lost a lot of them. We're now at how many points? Why am I blind? There you go, 6 points. I'm just inside the relegation. I think Division 2 is the highest I've ever been, so it might be that I'm gonna yo-yo between Division 2 and 3. If I keep at this sort of like level. But we'll see. I might be able to turn it around. We've got until the 15th, so that's Tuesday. There's some more games being played today, which I've already signed up for and that, so we'll see. It might be that it improves. But we're now going to look at next week. All right. We don't look at rivals for next week because it's just rivals. There will be games to play. We will use tickets to play them. And we will probably lose. But we will look at Pro because we've got this as our current one. We've got internationals, few players, which I say a few, loads. We've got two of my keepers didn't play at all for some reason. Maybe injured, not sure about Dubravka or Gunok. Norgard didn't play. He was injured, but I thought he was back. But it looks like maybe not. Wilder Kartanga, he didn't play for Peru for some reason, although he was on the bench. It's not that he didn't have a game, it's that he just didn't play. So, not ideal, the amount of no games. I'm just looking down. That again. Oh, not again. Not again. Gonna have to do this. Back in. If we just scroll down. Mats Sells and Joachim Andersen didn't get picked, I guess. And then we got two do not plays in warm-up, Ross McCausland and Chucho Hernandez, who has been getting really high scores, so that's why I put him in there. So I don't expect to really get anything from this weekend's one, which is a bit disappointing. Look, this keeps doing this weird thing. And then we have more internationals coming up for the week ahead. I've tried to pick the teams which I think will start. I mean, I've put Causland in. He scored for Northern Ireland, I think it is. And he's a young, like, kind of comes off the bench. So you just have to hope that they do play him. But I don't have enough players to basically put together a team. Although I do have enough. No, I don't have any forwards. So don't have enough players to put together a team in any of these. And in warm-up, I've gone back for Yamal, but I'm going to consider that before we switch over to this one. I'm not sure if I want to or not. Guardiol, Højbjerg, Cessna had a really high consistent score, so that's why I put him in. And then the keeper I've gone for is Oh Seung-hoon, who's actually played pretty well in, I think it's the K-League. And then the weekend coming up, we're back, baby, to 34 teams, all Premier League, MLS, Eredivisie, all of the big ones. We've even been able to make, because Fatty is playing regularly now, or hopefully playing regularly, we've been able to make 2 in-season La Liga teams, which might give us a better chance of actually getting rewards with the in-seasons. And then the classic, I think the keeper will never play, I know that. And then these players are kind of, they play semi-regularly. So we might get something, we might not. We'll have to see. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting back into normal football and just watching that. I really don't enjoy the international break. It's just really boring. But yeah, so we're gonna try out because we haven't been able to try it out this week because Sara doesn't play for his national team. So we finally get to try out Gabriel Sara, who we got through Essence last week. So looking forward to seeing how he does. I think that's a fairly strong team there, but we will have to wait and see. You always think that, don't you, when you make one of these, and then ends up being absolutely shocking. But yeah, we've got a lot of teams that we've put together, which actually I feel like might be quite good. I've got a couple of players in like this in the Belgium League, Juniper League, and that. I think that my under 23s is quite strong as well. We've gone for Yamal again. I'm still unsure if that's what I should do or not, but we'll have a consider. I think he's a great player. That's the thing. And he, like I said, he when against clubs which are not playing so well, he'll punish them, sort of thing. So yeah, let me know what you think. Is Yamal consistent enough to use in pros for now, or do you think he's one that you leave for a year or two until he's like a proper superstar? Because Messi used to be kind of like a no-brainer. Now he's dropping off a little bit, so you don't play him as much. But yeah, I think Yamal is one of that player who he can just do something special and then all of a sudden score a hat trick or something. Do you know what I mean? So we're now going to go on to my player to watch. And after all that talk about Yamal, it's not Yamal who's my player to watch. My player to watch is Brennan Johnson. And it might be a bit of an obvious one. But I don't have him yet. And I think I might, when I get some money, go for him. Because look at that scoring record. He scored in the last 6 games in a row. He's played fantastic. I watched the United game. And to be fair, Man United gave him all of the chances. They were not playing well, but he like the difference is Man United can't convert chance at the moment. Brennan Johnson got the chance and converted it. Now he's not a perfect player. There are a few chances he misses here and there and stuff like that, but he's quite a young, exciting player. I think he's Tottenham signed him and everyone's a bit like, I'm not sure about that. He's a good player, but I don't know if he fits Tottenham, but he fits them down to a T. He's really good. I also watched the Brighton game, actually, and he was the bright spark. He was in there. He always seemed to be in a space where you'd think, get the ball to him. Do you know what I mean? So he's a good player, playing well. If you look at the games coming up, he's got Montenegro next, which is on the 14th, so tomorrow, Monday. And then he's got West Ham, who have been letting in goals. They've got AZ in the Europa League. To be fair, AZ have been playing well in their league, but they're against a Premier League team. I don't know how good they are. Like, he's got potential to score in that game, probably score in that game, and then that game for the next 3 games at least. And going forward, if he can keep his form up, he might even be like top scorer of the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? Like crazier things have happened. So he needs to keep that form up and not get injured. That's the only thing. The other thing about him is, if you look at how much his cards are, if you want an in-season, it's about 25 quid, which is a little bit more than I would usually pay for a card. But 25 quid is pretty decent for someone who's going to get you all green scores every week, pretty much at the moment. But if you don't want to go in-season, you can pick him up for a tenner. And look at that hair. I mean, it's a shocking look, but it's, you know, that's £10 for Brennan Johnson. I think is a bargain. And you can pick him up as last season's card if you want for a tenner as well. So the price does increase quite sharply. So I don't know how long he's going to be a tenner for, but that's pretty decent. Do you know what I mean? So definitely my player to keep an eye on, and potentially slap into a team and see how he does. So yeah, we're going to now go into what's in the box. What's in the box? As we said before, my week has been disastrous, so not as many boxes to open. We have 8 Rivals boxes and 1 limited, which is very disappointing. So we're going to just slap open some of these boxes and see what we get. I'm hoping to get 7 more Essence in these, which is a good start. We got 2 Essence there, because I would like to do another limited Essence pull if we can, but I have a feeling we're going to be just short. Oh, he says after we get 10 Essence. 10 Essence is great. That's so much in a Rivals box as well. More of that, please. Oh my goodness, we're getting all the Essence. Maybe they've increased the drop rate of Essence in Rivals boxes, he says as he gets more arena tickets. But no, that's a great start, isn't it? I mean, enough Essence to a limited pull. That's what I was hoping for. We're getting more still. I like to go slightly over that 20 that you need, because then you've got some for next time, you know. We're not starting at square one, and you can then hope that next week we'll be get enough to do another limited, which from the looks of it, we might even be able to. Is this Essence? Oh my goodness, we got a card. Who's Ryan Luton? Looks like he plays. Who's he play for? No idea who that team is. And no idea where that country is either. Can I? Right. I'm going to check him out now. Let's have a look. He plays for Ames in France. Oh, sorry if I said that wrong. He is... Yeah, he's from France, but what's... I'm terrible. That is either an African flag or like one of the Caribbean islands, and I do not know which. Okay, he has played international, so we can see. Comoros. I don't even know where that. I believe that's Africa. There's nothing about them. Wow, okay, I'm going to have to do a little bit of research about this, because I've never heard of this team, but what a pull. He even gets assists and stuff, and he plays regularly. I'm having an absolute dream here. I believe that is African nation, because they're playing in what looks like the African, like AFCON's qualification, or like African World Cup qualification. Then it's like Madagascar and that, so that must be an African nation, but I've never heard of it. So there you go, I've learned something new. I like to be up on my geography, so it's annoyed me that I've never heard of it. But yeah, he's not worth loads, but I'm happy with that. How old is he? He's only 21, so he's an under 23 player. Ryan Luton, what a pull! Absolutely buzzing off that. So we're gonna go back to my club, and we're gonna open our only limited box. I'm not holding my breath for anything good here. Let's see what we get. Oh. 3 Essence. That means we now only need 10 Essence to do the next one next week. So I'm not complaining. And then we go into here, and we are going to do a T5 Essence pull, which apparently is the best, like, what's it called? Strategy. Apparently T4 and T3 are they have quite trash cards in them. So you either save till you get to T2. But the time you saved that, you could have done T5 like, at least 10 times, 12 times. Because, yeah, you could done T5 12 times. Chances are you might get a really good card in here. Because it's T5 plus, so it's anything above T5. So it could be a T1 card. And if you're asking me what the T stand for, it's tier, I know that. But I think it's based on value, like monetary value of how much the card is worth. But I'm not 100% sure how it works. I just know that you can get better cards here than you can here. So let's craft and see. There's no going back. Let's reveal. I'm not really sure what to expect with this one now. Like, what are you going to get? Scotland goalkeeper for St. Joe Johnson. Ross Sinclair. Does he play? Is the question for a goalkeeper. He's 23, so he's a young keeper, which is usually not a good sign. St. Johnston, sorry. Johnstone. He has played the last five games, but he's played pretty poorly in 2 of them. Was one of them against Celtic, though. Yeah, Celtic are going to always smash anyone in the Scottish League. But he's played well against Rangers, from the looks of it. Interesting. I'm guessing, from what I'm seeing here, St. Johnstone have... I'm saying that wrong, I'm almost certain of it. Have lost the keeper through injury. And they've started playing Ross Sinclair out of necessity. And he's had a rough start, but hopefully will continue to improve. And he's selling for about 2-3 quid. He's not as good as my last pull, for Sarah, because Sarah was intense. He's a great player, and he's also getting really high scores. But you know what? A goalkeeper is always handy to have. I was hoping I'd get the national keeper. I can't remember. Gordon is his name. He's a lot older. I think he's in like nearly 40 or something like that. But you know what? I'll take that. So yeah, we got Ryan Luton and Ross Sinclair today through pulls. I'm pretty happy with that. I use both of them in my pros teams for sure. And yeah, so let me know if you've been having any luck with the internationals. I haven't. And let me know what you think about international breaks. Do you enjoy them? Do you enjoy seeing the national teams play in the Nations League and stuff like that? I find the Nations League, no one plays like the England game, for example. I'm just going to talk a little bit for a second. The England game, you could tell there were players on the pitch that weren't pushing themselves because they didn't want to get injured for the main season. And because there's so many games in the season now, you have to play that way. You have to be conservative with your legs. Otherwise, you could just injure yourself and your season's over. But it means that you either have one team who like are more passionate, more I can't think of the word. More like driven to get there. And will just absolutely run over you, even if they're not the best team technically or like on paper. And you'll have 2 teams who just don't care, and it will be like a 0-0 or draw. So it's just kind of those things. I find these games a lot less entertaining than like a Premier League game, an Eredivisie game, like I've watched some Serie A recently. Like all of those games have been way more entertaining than the international games. And it just feels a bit boring. But I did like the story this week with the England game, where that English player who played for Panathinaikos and Sheffield United, who really sad, he died at 31, which is insane. Very close to my age, so I was like, oh my goodness. But like Greece, when they scored, they got his shirt out. Like the story there was really nice. It was like a really touching story, and you thought like, you know what, that Greece deserved the win because they showed that kind of humanity about them in my eyes. So there was something to it there, but like the football itself wasn't good. So that was a bit of a disappointment in itself. But yeah, Let me know what you think of internationals. Let me know if there's any cards you're picking up because you think, you know what, they're pretty good. One which I've picked up, which you might be able to see, is Kelleher, because I hope anyway, because I've just got Kelleher. Allison went off injured, and it's looking like he might be on the sidelines for a little while. So at least the next few games, next couple of weeks, we got Kelleher, he plays for Ireland as well, so he's going to be playing international. But he's going to be playing for Liverpool as well. So he's a card which I've picked up. Let me know if there's any which you're eyeing up that you want to get, or you've decided, you know what, pulling the trigger on getting that card and you're going to use it. And yeah, let me know if there's any games you're looking forward to as well, because I'm just looking forward to the Premier League games coming back. But I'm looking forward to seeing how Man United jump back into the season after a really rocky start. So remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you when I see you.